So I want to be the first to say I'm extremely excited that you're able to make it here. What you're getting ready to learn is a framework that I've put together. I mean, I put blood, sweat, and tears into this. But you're going to learn a framework that's not only going to provide you results, but you guys are going to get environmental changing results from this system, right? So it's one thing to know that you're getting results. It's another thing to see the environment around you start to raise an influence from the results you're getting, right? Those are the results that you're going to get from this online vehicle selling system, right? So the first thing I want to start off with is kind of just a background of me, right? So if you guys need some visuals, put together some pictures here, right? Well, before me jumping into sales, I was first initially a diesel technician, okay? And I say that because as a diesel tech, I learned to problem solve, right? So this vehicle isn't going down the road because it won't start. Now, it won't start because either the starter's bad, or it won't start because the battery's bad, or it won't start because the ignition is bad, right? There's only a handful of things why the vehicle won't start, and which is stopping it from going down the road. The same thing with your marketing. There's a handful of things that is stopping you guys from moving the needle inside of your business, getting the high quality leads you should be getting, right? At a volume sustainable enough to build everything in influence, okay? There's a reason why it's not working. And when I got into sales, just to give you a quick story, I did it for like 4 months. I mean, my draw was like $2,000 a month, right? I went from making 20 bucks an hour, $20 an hour. I was I worked 40 hours a week, so I was making like $3,200 to making $2,000 a month for the next 4 months. I mean, when I tell you this, my bank account was on fire. I mean, it was literally on fire. It was going backwards every single month, like $1,200. And I remember on the fourth month, it was like a week before us getting into the next month, I told my manager, hey, I'm quitting. I'm going to stay until the end of the month. And I remember him stating to me, and this is the manager I'm actually talking to you about. I remember him telling me, he said, listen, if you want to leave, that's fine. But before you leave, at least go into next month and do exactly what I tell you to do, the same exact way I tell you to do it. Okay? And if you don't get any results within then for next month, go ahead and quit. So I agreed, right? So we did a lot of training. I mean, I still have some of the training materials here, like words, scripts that we did, learning the steps, developing that. And I remember it was March, right? So typically March is a good month. And I remember having the largest month I ever had in my life, right? So I'm 20 years old, and for the first time I make $8,000 a month. I don't even think my parents combined together made $8,000 a month, right? So I'm excited. The money's coming in, I'm rich, I'm famous, little do I know I am far away from that. But at the time, I felt that way, right? And it was all because I scaled up on my sales. Now, a couple months after, every month after that, March, my sales went back down, right? It dropped significantly. Now, I was getting better results, right? I wasn't selling 7, 8 cars making a draw. I was selling 10, 11, but I was, making $3,000, $3,500 a month, right? But it was results, but it wasn't environmental changing results. The environment around me was not changing from my improved results that I was getting, right? And that's what this framework is going to give for you guys. It's going to provide you guys environmental changing results, right? So long story short, I knew there was a problem, right? So I went back to my original instincts as being a diesel technician. I knew there was a problem, and I did everything I can to learn more about my space, right? And what I found out, what I was missing was top funnel marketing, right? So I got very good at working the opportunities that was in front of me, but I was horrible at getting opportunities in front of me, right? So if you don't have anything, you can be as good as you want when it comes to closing, but if you don't have anything to close, I mean, your paycheck is going to reflect that. So I remember a buddy of mine recommended me that I read this book. I ended up buying it from Joe Verde, right? I think he created this book even before I was born. And it says how to earn $100,000 a year selling cars. Now, I want to tell you this. I did end up making $100,000 a year from this book. So there are some things in here that really propel me. So first things first, I remember, and what I got out of this book was always be selling, right? If you're at the grocery store, you're talking to somebody in line, slip in your business card, right? Or go get some flyers ready and put them on the vehicles, or go down to the football stadium and where there's a whole bunch of cars, and just put your business card, everywhere on the windshield, right? So he taught me a lot of offline marketing strategies that was going to generate leads coming into the top end of the funnel, so I had more opportunities to actually sell to, right? The problem is I didn't do it. So I'm like, I was thinking at the time, I said, okay, I understand it, I get the strategy, but there's only so many people I can talk to. There's so many hours in a day that I can go out and put cards on everybody's car, right? But if I use the internet, if I go online, I can reach thousands of people within an hour, within minutes. So how do I take his strategy and just take it online? And that's exactly what I did, right? So I took his strategy and I took it online, and I remember the first time I invested into this system, the early stages of this system, right? And I even have a screenshot of it here still to this day, because I was so excited I had to take a screenshot, right? I remember the first $20 that I spent, I got a sale out of it. Plus I was able to fill my pipeline with new opportunities that I eventually closed down later down the road. Now you're going to see I spent $20 and made $200. That's the first time I've ever made a 10x return on my money, right? And I have $200 here because that was my commission. So at the very least, you didn't know exactly how much you made off that specific vehicle until the end of the month, right? So at the beginning of the month is when I sold the vehicle, and so I put $200 because that was our mini, right? I knew I could not go below $200. So long story short, this $20 turned into $200 for me, right? And that was the snowball effect into me doing what I'm doing today. And it is this system, this framework that I'm getting ready to teach you that allowed me to have environmental change in my environment from the results I was getting, right? Obviously when you make a little bit more money, you get a little bit more confident, right? You have more, you're confident in, your abilities. And, I'm married, so my wife's seen my confidence. She got more confidence. I got that sense of security, right? Vehicles around you, stupid as it is, they get better and better, as the more you make, they get a little better, right? Where you stay at, where you live, that becomes a little better. I started to notice my environment raising in influence. The things that were around me, the people, the materialistic things started to raise in influence from the results I was getting from this framework. So I say that to say this: we're getting ready to transition into the strategy that you are going to have to, if you just implement everything that I'm getting ready to show you, you guys are going to get the results, not just results, but you're going to see the environment change around you. An example, I have one of my clients, iDrive1. If you look them up, iDrive1.net. They've been in business less than, well under 10 years, okay? And they've become the largest pre-owned Tesla dealership nationwide already from using this system, right? To the point they're getting environmental change. Yes, they're getting results, right? But now they have the ability to go acquire new real estate for their business, which they did because they need to fill that up with inventory, right? So the environment around them is changing. It's raising in influence, right? That's the type of results this framework is going to give you. So I want you to, from now on, from this period on, I want you to limit all distractions. So if you need to go into a room by yourself, do that. If you need to put your phone on silent, do that. I prefer you be on a desktop versus mobile because you're getting notifications all the time. But it's important that you understand this and you take this seriously and you implement it exactly how I'm getting ready to show you, so that you too, for yourself, can get environmental change for your business. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. Okay, so now we're transitioning over to the actual framework and how it works and the strategies behind it. So what I want you to understand, to make this online vehicle selling system work, there are 4 main things that needs to be in place for this to work. Okay, so the first thing that you have to have is what I call an effective top funnel system. So I want to take you back, right? I've been through this where, and I'm sure you have yourself, where you're generating a lot of leads, right? However, none of them are answering the phone, right? And the people that you do finally get to answer the phone, they're like, I don't even know what you're talking about, right? I didn't fill out anything, right? So that was a big frustration for me. And when I actually did get someone on the phone and they knew what I was talking about and we set an appointment, what frustrated me even more was that once we did a demonstration, we went through the sales process, their credit was so bad, there was nothing I can do. And that was very disappointing. I mean, it was very frustrating. I can tell you that much. And everyone's having that issue. And that is why it's important that you have what I call an effective top funnel system. I want you to think about this for a second. If you pour any type of liquid through a funnel, right? Doesn't matter if it's, water, doesn't matter if it's, hopefully it's not ever beer, right? Why would you ever want to waste beer or any alcohol beverage, wine? But you pour liquid down the top end of the funnel, okay? At the bottom end, you're going to get that liquid going through. But when you put a block object at the top end of that funnel, it's never going to go through. You're clogging it. And I had to go back and do a reverse engineer and ask myself, why am I not generating the sales that I should be generating from this system when I first initially started it, right? And I just kind of kicked into my technician instincts, right? So I said, hey, listen, there's a ton of potential in this online marketing space to help me bring more opportunities in front of me, but for whatever reason, the opportunities are not there. Okay, well, why is that? And then let's take a look at, okay, well, why isn't, let's go back, a step further. Why am I not setting up appointments, right? Because I'm not selling anything because there are not a lot of people getting in front of me. Well, why aren't they getting in front of me? Because I'm not setting up appointments. Well, why aren't you setting up appointments? Do you have to skill up in your telemarketing skills, right? Or is there something else, right? And then when I took another step back, I said, well, how many people am I turning into appointments from me talking to them, right? And that's where I found what the problem was. I was having an issue actually getting connection with people. Okay, that was the main issue. And then I was actually having an issue with, once I did get somebody as an appointment, the quality was so poor that it did me no good. All I did was waste my time, right? So we was dropping a block at the top end of the funnel, and it's not going to go through. You may get it midway through, but it's going to, like, once that funnel gets narrow, that block is not going to go through, right? So from there, I developed my effective top funnel system, and all it is changing what you put at the top of the funnel. So I switched what I put at the top of the funnel. I'm no longer putting blocks, I'm putting liquid through, right? So I was using social platforms. I switched from social platforms and I switched that to search marketing. And when I switched that to search marketing, I started to see a major difference, right? Like, I was getting a high velocity of leads, but also they were quality leads. They needed the product, and they had the ability to purchase either cash or finance. And that's what made it work. Me switching my platforms gave me an effective top funnel system, right? And I'm not talking about using Google. I'm not talking about using third-party sites like Car Gurus, TrueCar, or whatever, okay? I have a specific channel that I used that I'm using today still that allows me to get that consistency, right? But it all starts having an effective top funnel system. It's all going to start with switching from social channels and switching over to any type of search marketing channel, right? Because when you think of passive or social channels, that's where people go to find, to keep up to date with their friends, their family members, see what's going on in the world, right? They're not there to buy a vehicle, right? But when you switch to search marketing, those people are looking for your services. They're looking for vehicles. They're looking for specific vehicles, right? You can segmentate that audience for people looking for the cars that you actually own that you want to sell. So when you switch from social to search, you're going to see a major difference in the results that you're getting. I promise you. So yeah, that's the first one. It's having an effective top funnel system. The third skill you're going to have is what I call omnipresence remarketing. And all that means is that you're going to stay top of mind for everybody who's coming through the top end of your funnel. Okay, so now that you're getting quality leads going through, right? Now this allows you to stay top of mind. This makes a major difference in the results that you guys are getting. So what I want to do is I want to, again, just kind of take a back step on my story. And an issue that I had that a lot of dealers are having too as well is that when I switched my channel to search marketing, okay, you got a high velocity of leads coming in at the top of the funnel. So towards the bottom of the funnel is where you have a lower velocity of those leads actually turning into deals, okay? So I want to show you guys some stats. 3%, and by the way, I mean, there are plenty of these stats out there, right, that you can look up yourself. But what I need you guys to understand is that 3%, 3 to 5% of the market is going to buy right now. The other 40% are going to do something within 90 days, okay? And then you got the remaining 56% that's going to do something. I mean, this is a much longer timeline. We're talking 6 months or further, okay? And even then, some of those people are never going to do anything, okay? So when you understand that, then you got to understand that this is the problem I was having. I had a high velocity of deals coming in. I had a low velocity, high velocity of leads coming in, and then I had a lower velocity at that same given time of deals coming out. And I said, hey, how do I increase the amount of deals that I can push out of this funnel? And my original thought process is, okay, we'll just throw more people at the top end of the funnel. That way you increase your flow. Well, at some point I hit a diminishing return where it actually was not working financially for me to push more people at the top end, right? I kind of hit a threshold. So now I'm thinking, okay, great. Well, how do I expand the bottom end of this funnel to where I can have a higher velocity? How do I do that, right? And what you guys have to understand is within this little section here, I got 40% of the market that's inside of my funnel are going to buy within 90 days. My job is to stay top of mind, meaning that I'll be the first to admit, every now and then you may catch me on Candy Crush, right? So if I'm a person that finds you, that goes through the top end of your funnel via search marketing, and you automatically assume the only way you can follow up with me is through Facebook, you're going to have an issue. Trust me, I've ran into it. I've already did it, right? And when you think about it, it doesn't actually make sense. But if you find somebody on a search platform and you try to remarket them, typically a lot of people like to go straight on Facebook and just do retargeting there. That's the most common thing people do, right? But what about the people that have a LinkedIn that don't have a Facebook? Did we just skip out on all those people? And what about the people that have a Facebook, but they don't use Facebook? They use Facebook Messenger just to reply back and forth to people. They don't actually get on the Facebook app and go through their news feed, right? So you got channels inside of channels, right? What about the people that don't use social media at all, but they're always on CNN.com or some other website that has nothing to do with selling vehicles? How do you stay top of mind there? What about when they are on YouTube and they decide that they wanted to take a look at the 22 Cadillac Escalade and they just wanted to see how it looks on video form? How do you stay top of mind there? What about the people that went through your funnel 3 months ago or 2 months ago, and they go on Google and they type in Cadillac dealership near me? How do you make sure that you outbid everybody for that specific person because they fit the time frame, and almost create a monopoly? And also this makes it more cost effective because everyone's fighting for everybody. You're fighting for a specific group. right? So you're creating this monopoly, right? And when you do that, this is what we call omnipresence remarketing. This allows, if you know 40% of the market is going to do something within 90 days, that means you have 90 days to hit them every single day and stay top of mind, so that when they are ready, the only person that they can think of, or the only business they can think of, is yours, right? You're going to be the one getting those phone calls. So that's, when I implemented that, that's where it kind of, that's really where I hit a pinnacle where I ended up, like, again, the environment around me started to change. You know, I ended up getting a promotion from sales to running the internet department because the general manager was looking at what I was doing, and he wanted me to do that for his dealer, right? And at the time, it was called Van Autoplex, right? It's still called Van Autoplex now. And they have 3 different rooftops. They have a GM rooftop, which is Caddy and Chevrolet. They have a Subaru rooftop. And then they also have, you know, just a pre-owned rooftop. And they were spending $40,000 a month. They understood what I was doing. They may not know how to do the technical stuff, but they understood the strategy of what I was doing. And I was manning the ship, right? I was responsible for cleaning up the leads. I was responsible for making sure that we set appointments for the dealership, right? So again, everything around me started to change from this online vehicle selling system, right? So omnipresence remarketing is a crucial point. You cannot skip this. This isn't something that's optional. You have to do it, right? Because if you look at some stats that I just want to show you beyond this, is that when it comes to following up, 80% are going to turn into deals after the 5th to 12th contact, right? Well, you don't necessarily have to call them 12 times. What if you're hitting them 10 times a day for 90 days on a website, and then they go on Twitter, or then they go on Instagram, they go on LinkedIn, they're playing a mobile game on their phone, you show up there, right? When they are actually going through these different apps, different websites, you are creating touch points. And it is similar to someone coming into your dealership on your floor, test driving a car, and leaving and not buying a car. You're going to follow up, right? This is the same way, but it's done digitally. So this is highly important. Do not skip omnipresence remarketing, because if you do it, if you do skip this part, I mean, you're going to have a hard time. Trust me, I've been through it. Okay. So now we're going to transition into the last thing, the last skill that you guys have to master to get this to work perfectly. Okay. So we're going to jump into that. The fourth key, the final thing that's going to make all of this work, is having an effective pipeline system. Okay. This is where the rubber meets the road. So you got to understand, one of the things that I went through as a sales consultant, I also went through as a internet director, is sometimes you get busy, right? If I'm selling cars, leads are coming in, they're quality leads, we got everything right. You know, sometimes you miss out on that opportunity, right? And same thing if you got a team of 5 people, and we, with a team of 4 people, and we were running 4 to 5, we were running 1,500 high quality leads a month. You know, it was hard for them to follow up with those leads on a daily basis. You know, we had 4 to 5 associates at one given time. So you got to have an effective pipeline system. And what I created is 2 segments. Number 1 is what I call an automated follow-up system. And then number 2 is, this is where it really gets nice. It's a buying signal system that allows you guys to actually pinpoint and know exactly when someone heats up. Like someone went through your top end of your funnel 30 days ago, and you know exactly when they're ready to make a purchase, right? And I'm gonna show you guys that. So first things first is the automated follow-up system, right? So again, I was struggling where some dealers, they weren't getting to people. You know, a lead will come in at 9 o'clock. They didn't get to them until 7 o'clock or whenever they was getting ready to close, right? That's an issue. It's unacceptable. Will never happen, right? But you'll be surprised as to how many dealers are actually running and operating that way, right? So what I developed is what I call an automated follow-up system. You guys can be able to see this screenshot here, where even if they drop the ball, what we're doing is we're taking these inbound leads, or these outbound leads, and we're turning them into inbound leads, meaning instead of us chasing them down, they're reaching out towards the business. Again, this is where the rubber meets the road. This is where this is where all of your efforts starts to become realized, right? Everything's working, everything's clicking at this point. So even if they drop the ball, you're looking at 60% of people are reaching out towards the business, 50%, 75, 57, right? So it's important that you have this in place because this makes a difference. I'm telling you, I've been through it. I've wasted thousands of dollars. I've wasted years coming up with this. Trust me when I tell you this. If you don't have this, everything else doesn't mean anything. Okay? And then the second thing is just establishing buying signals inside of your CRM. So, I'm not gonna go too far into it, but one way we do this is we're sending out promotional emails out to the people who went down our funnel. And again, if we know 40% are going to buy within 90 days, if 45 days from now, one of our prospects did not open up any of our emails, decides to open up one email and decides to actually click through, that's telling us he skipped everything else, but now he's actually paying attention to this promotion here, meaning he's ready to do something. He's heating back up. And once they click through or open that email, a buying signal gets sent to your CRM where you can say John Doe has opened up this promotion and has clicked through to our website over here and is now viewing this promotion. And that allows you to pick up the phone and call them. And that's how you are able to start cherry picking people that are heating up before a competitor gets the opportunity to get in front of them, right? You're staying top. So we're doing everything that we need to do. We're staying top of mind. We're putting the right people down the funnel. And then when they heat up, we know when they heat up and we're showing up, right? And guys, when you do all of this correctly, right? So these are 4 systems you have to master, right? And when you do all of these systems correctly, the online vehicle selling system is going to allow you guys to do the same thing that this dealer was able to do, right? You guys should be able to have these same type of results if you follow my process exactly how I just presented it to you, right? Where on a daily basis, I mean, imagine on a daily basis you spend $600 and you make $27,000 in net profit all the way around. And you do that every day, right? This is where you are experiencing the environment around you starting to change from the results you're producing, right? This is where you start to level up in business. So I think everybody has the opportunity to do it. Again, those are my 4 quote unquote secrets. They're not really secrets, right? Honestly, they were always there, right? Now that you guys think about it, you should be like, oh, yeah, they're always accessible, but you were just unknown to the information, and now I've made you known, okay? So now it's up to you to take advantage of this and put this and implement this today. So I do appreciate you guys sticking through this training, and hopefully you guys have gotten some real value away from this. But most importantly, get started. Start something. Get the ball moving. That's it. It doesn't matter about the information I give you if you never put it in action. Get the ball moving. Get it going. Okay. Reach out to us if you need any help. But other than that, I hope to see some success stories from everybody who's watching this video. I'm excited. You should be excited. And let's get started, guys. Let's go.